Hey sis, this is your girl Ms.BlackExpat, and I am back for another video. And you're probably wondering what in the world happened to my hair. That's another video. But I had to switch it up a bit, y'all. I had to switch it up a bit, and I actually bought a wig. So that's not the point of this message or this video, but I will come back and share with you the wig details, why I decided to wear a wig for the first time in 5 years since I've had my locks, and many more. I will make a video about it. Today's video is all about, girl, he's not gonna marry you. This video was inspired by so many of my friends who are in these long-term relationships with these men that they've been with for years and years and years, and they still have this hope that there's a marriage coming. And I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy, and I'm not trying to make it seem as if I'm being negative, because I'm not married and I desire to be married and all that great stuff. But I also can see the red flags and the writing on the wall when something just don't seem right. So I wanted to talk to you about that because I'm pretty sure there's other women out there who have been in long distance relationships, or not long distance, but long-term relationships, and have been wondering, is this man ever going to put a ring on it? Is he ever going to marry me? Is he really serious about me? Does he really want this to be a lifetime commitment? And you're probably not sure. You want to say yes. You want to feel in your heart and your spirit and everything else that this man is legitly for you and he loves you and everything, which he probably tells you that he does. And he probably does love you. But there's a difference between whether or not he when he loves you, and is he genuinely going to marry you? Does he see you as a wife, as somebody that he wants to spend the rest of his life? So I wanted to share 3 things, signs or things that I feel identify with a man that is just not going to marry you. So number 1, he has everything. He already has everything. I think that saying is, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? You are living with the man. You are having sex with the man. You are cooking for the man. You are washing his clothes. You are doing everything at his beck and call. You are being his wife. Why in the world would he make it official as a legal document, put a ring on it, invest in all this stuff? You're doing everything. He doesn't have to work for anything anymore. He doesn't have to sacrifice. He doesn't have to push or to really try hard enough, because you've given him everything. And I'm just speaking from personal testimony. I can speak from my own story that there has been times in my past where I pretty much gave a man everything, even with my son's father, gave him everything. And I was with him for over 4 years, and the man did not marry me. He did not have any intention on marrying me. I did everything for him. I felt that by me doing all these things for him that he was going to marry me, and that was so far from the truth. And I knew that the man wanted to be married, and guess what? Maybe a year after we broke up, he got married to someone else. So yes, men are, what point is it? Why is he going to marry you when you're doing everything already? Number 2. And this pretty much goes hand in hand with the first one about how he has everything. Is number 2 is, a man knows right away. He may not know the first moment that he meets you. He may not know, you know, the next week. But I'm telling you, it does not take him 10 years to figure out if you are wifey material. It doesn't even take him a year. I would say max, and I think that's really pushing it. I think within the next 3 to 6 months, he knows for sure, this is a woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. Men are not difficult creatures like we are as women. Men are very simple. They know exactly what they want. When they go to the car lot, they know exactly what car they want. When they go get a suit, they know exactly what suit they want. When they go into a store, they're not complicated like we are as women, where we have to take days and years and months to figure out what kind of lipstick we want to put on for today. The men know. So he knows right away if he wants to marry you. So if you're in a relationship with somebody for 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 10.5 years, and this man does not put a ring on it, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. it may probably not happen. More than likely, no. Because he's stringing you along like you're convenient for him. You giving him everything he needs anyway. And he may not be very committed to you in the way you think he is. He might be telling you that. He may be coming home every night. But to be honest, a man knows. A man knows. It's not that difficult. They know. It's not that hard. So, don't play yourself, girlfriend. Don't play yourself. Don't play yourself. Stop giving this man everything that a wife would give him. You are not qualified. He has not qualified you for that position. So why are you playing the part? And my third and final thing, and I know it's a million other things, but I'm going to keep this video real short, is if he wants to marry you, it won't be a forced thing. I have so many friends that are trying to show their boyfriends rings and dresses and hinting about the wedding and what kind of wedding they want and, you know, what type of engagement they want, all these things. A man knows what you want. If he is that interested in you, he will take the time to figure out what it is that turns you on, that you like, that excites you, the type of wedding you want, everything down to the ring and the ring size, girlfriend, your honeymoon, the type of house, everything. You don't have to try to put the pieces together to motivate and prompt and push this man to give him hint, 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 you know, to marry you. A man doesn't need all those signs and wonders to get it. He knows right away. You're just something for him to do at this moment until he really figures it out, or until he gets into the position of finding the one that he really wants to be with. I'm just being real. Love on yourself. This is the time. I think that as women, we sell ourselves short in so many ways because we're so desperate to get married. Now, that was me. I wanted a ring and the title of being a wife for like desperately, you know, to the point where I was settling. I almost got married. I had a man that proposed to me, and I was getting ready to throw away my whole overseas trip, adventure to marry this man, and I would have been absolutely miserable. But I was so desperate at the time to be married because everybody was getting married. So I was like, why not? I'm early 30s at the time, and it was like, I just want to be married. And I had to stop for a moment and I had to really think about me. What is it that I want and desire? If you have that right, women, as you know, to decide if this is even the kind of man that you want in your life. But more so to work on yourself. In your singleness, embrace that time. Embrace that time to work on yourself. Working on self-care, working on your mind, working on your body, your physical body, working on your emotional self, your healing process, your spiritual life, getting yourself closer to God. This should not be a time where you're rushing to the altar, because when you rush into something like that, usually it's a disaster and you'll regret something of it. Let it happen organically and naturally. These are the things that we need to be focused on rather than trying to force a man to marry us before the time. A man that is going to marry you, your husband, will not need to be prompted, will not need to be forced. You will not need to beg him, plead for him. You will not need to do all that stuff. You know, he will not accept, a man of God will not accept you fornicating, first of all. He will not accept you living with him or any of those things, because he is a man of God and he honors God and he wants to do the principles of God. So he's going to respect you as his future wife and respect God and honor that and do things the right way. So do not compromise in this season. You deserve the best, and you need to be clear-headed in the sense that you are able to discern the type of man that you want. And when you get close enough to God, he will have to find you. The only way he's going to be able to find you is if he's in God himself. And so really, I was listening to this message earlier, and it was talking about before you become a wife, you have to be a wife. And I think that is so important, because a lot of times we want to jump into this role as a wife, but we really don't know what it means to be a wife. The submission aspect of it, you know, just the commitment, the trust, the communication, the respect, unconditional love, forgiveness. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I'm not married. I've never been married, but I do know a lot about marriages, and I do desire to be a wife. So these are things that I'm preparing myself to also to learn more about. But my point in telling you this is, instead of trying to rush and get the ring, to get into the pretty dress, to be the title of wifey, get to know yourself. Because once that dust settles, honey, once that dust settles, it is real, real, real. This is your hubby for life. And so when he pisses you off, when you get upset, and when you want to walk out, it's not going to be that easy. You have to realize what you're committing to, what you're asking for. But at the same time, that's even going away from the point of my video. The point of my video is not staying in a relationship with a man who has no intention on marrying you. Do not stay in a relationship, sell yourself short, give all your goodies away, everything that you have, for a man that has no intention on marrying you. Give yourself a boundary. Give yourself a timeline, and date to marry. Don't just date just to be dating because you just want to be dating, because you are so hungry to be with a man, because you don't want to be lonely, you don't want to be sleeping around, so let me just give him one man. You just love him so much. Look, I'm telling you all this stuff because I've been there. I've been there. I have been lonely. I didn't want to sleep around. Oh, I didn't want to be, I thought that was the one for me. And all these things that I put on myself, but I compromised my value system and settled for a lot of men who were not my husband. And guess what? I ended up wounded and hurt, brokenhearted, and dealing with the heaviness and the weight of a broken heart is hard when you're trying to move forward in your life and to find love. And so don't put yourself in uncompromising situations with men who don't have an intention on marrying you. And I'm saying that with love, from sister to sister, because I respect you and I thank you for watching my channel and just being there as a support. So I want to make sure that you are aware of your goodness, of your value, of your worth. And speaking about that, my new book is coming out soon. It is called You Are Not a Mess, Reclaiming Your Self-Worth in the Midst of Brokenness. And in this book, I talk about my own personal brokenness and my ins and outs with toxic relationships. I talk about how I was in and out of a lot of toxic relationships because I was unhealed and broken from my past hurt, and how I was able to get out of that and step more into my purpose. I started traveling overseas. If you've been following my channel for a long time, you see I've lived abroad for a few years, and I raised my son abroad, and I started businesses, and now I started a single moms group. I'm writing a book, and I'm just living life in the way that I know God is intending me to live, and not so focused on getting myself deeper and deeper and deeper into trying to manipulate situations to make them what I feel that they should be in my life. So I'm just keeping it real. Definitely hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think about this subject. Definitely share this video. And definitely, girlfriend, if you are not following me, I advise you to follow me, because I talk about a lot to deal with single moms especially, but just self-love and self-care, self-worth, all in connection with relationships. So be blessed and highly favored. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.